And hello, everyone, and welcome to the A Magical Journey Show with your host, Reverend Bryan Rawls. Thank you for being. So we are getting very close to Samhain, which is tomorrow, and we have a lot to look forward to since we have Samhain happening tomorrow, um, as well as also Mercury retrograde, and also our um, our Sabbat happenings, which are normally, if you practice any type of earth religion, you'll have a gathering for the ancestors, which I am having actually a gathering for the ancestors tomorrow, including a lot of other people doing so as well. I hope that everybody is ready to experience in many different ways of um, in many different ways of celebrating our ancestors and ancestor veneration. So if you have a ancestor altar, one particular thing that I would tell you to do is possibly light it up and get it flowing with particular energies that coincide with our ancestral beliefs. Now, many folks have different ancestral beliefs, um, myself including, and there are ancestral beliefs that some folks believe that they come back and help us here in this lifetime. Some folks believe that they should just be honored and left pleasantly alone. Um, and my tradition, that's not the case, because I combine my ancestors in almost everything that I do, especially when it's surrounding something that I'm needing help with, or needing to get off my chest, or needing just to speak about. Many different traditions. There are different workings that we work with um, in in the nature of asking our ancestors for help or honoring our ancestors. One of those being the ancestor altar. The second one being going out to, or basically um, lighting up the graveyard during that time with candles, favorite foods of the loved ones, as well as also lighting up candles as well, or lighting up candles, bringing flowers. Many different traditions happen to start with that, and it's all around working directly with that. And excuse me one moment, Spirit. Sorry about that. I have a cat that would like to be loud tonight, so I apologize. Anyways, ancestor veneration has a lot to do around honoring our ancestors, and that's what's so interesting about um, directing our energy in that particular place of, um, I guess you would say, place of coming into oneness um, with those that came before us. So, a lot of folks have been asking me how to begin a ancestor altar, and also what are some workings to do at the ancestor altar. So this is what tonight's show is going to be about. Before we get into this evening's topic, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak a little bit about I'll speak a little bit about particularly the things that are going on with the magical journey at this time, such as specials and discounts that are happening, as well as also some services that are currently on discount too. So now we have currently going into working directly with my readings. There are going to be there's going to be a coupon code that happens to become available starting Friday, November 1st. And that is going to be Magickal with a CKAL on 35, and that is basically to be used on the service page and service page only. Another thing that is going to be working directly with that is when you go to purchase anything from the services here. Anything that you're doing when purchasing anything from the services, you'll put that discount code in the discount box, taking 35% off of the total bill. So that is included for services. Also, all the specialty readings that are there, as well as also anything that is placed under the services box. Okay, so another thing that is going on is we're having a Samhain blessing and an apple blessing, which is happening tomorrow, and that is each participant will receive a recording and a apple that is cut horizontally, and then a laurel leaf written with your particular blessing or your wish or anything that you would like to manifest, placed in between the apple pieces, closed together and wrapped with red yarn, which will intensify your magical energy in bringing that particular petition or that particular blessing towards you quicker and with grace and ease. Another thing that is going on is on November 1st, I will be picking one name out of a hat that will be receiving we'll be receiving a gift box of $100 worth of my products. That would be oils, floor washes, floor sweeps, etc., etc. Also, there will be included in there a 15-minute reading that can be redeemed by tarot card reading or email reading or telephone reading for 15 minutes. So anybody that has purchased in between the time of the beginning of October till November 1st is able to have their name placed in that hat. So you still have time to purchase a reading or purchase a service, and with you purchasing, your name gets entered into that drawing. So another thing that is going on during within a magical journey is on November 1st. Those sales will be up, and also I will be doing a extra Day of the Dead service, which I haven't announced yet, but I'm going to be entering everybody that signs up for November or signs up for the Samhain blessing. I'm going to be working in Tatum on November 1st with their particular blessing again in November 1st, okay? So that means that their wish or blessing that they asked for on October 31st will get worked with twice. So it will get worked with once by the ancestors on the 31st and again on November 1st. So your blessing will be worked with twice in ceremony and will be in a increased chance for that blessing or petition to be expedited or to be given to you by your ancestral spirits. So that's something to look forward to. So as I said, this evening is working with our ancestors and exactly how to make a ancestor altar if you did not tune in last week. Also, different Samhain traditions or different traditions of working with our ancestors. So, a simple ancestor altar is a white candle, a glass of water, um, and uh, and then basically yourself and any particular pictures of your loved ones that have passed away. You can place this on a table, drawer, um, um, chest of drawers, um, any small surface that has the exact room for one candle, one glass of water, and maybe a picture or two. It's very simple. That is a very simple setup, and you can really begin to start speaking with your ancestors and developing your mediumship abilities, because that's exactly what ancestor work is being able to cultivate our mediumship abilities. Our mediumship abilities are very um, are very important in this particular lifetime, because we have this longing of understanding what death is, and understanding the cycle of life and death. And I believe with mediumship, we are able to find out in great detail what is in store for us as when we personally take our last breath. And understanding that we as spirits are energy. So that's a little bit of um, what ancestor work or what my belief of ancestor work is all about. Um, and also, not to mention, or to mention, ancestor work is also asking your ancestors not only just for help, but also honoring them with a open heart and elevating their spirits, because each spirit needs elevation for them to ascend, or for them to ascend into a higher vibrating soul, or a uh, higher vibrating spirit. Okay. So I know that each and every one of you may have called in for a reading with me. I am going to be taking questions here soon. Once I begin to start taking questions, um, th- these particular questions can be anything from love, relationships, money, career. I ask that no help questions come through and no death questions come through. So if you are wondering any two of those, um, please please do not um, please do not worry about me ever trying to ask or trying to answer them questions. So I ask for each and every one of you to ask questions in the comments. If you happen to have any types of questions or any questions or concerns or any questions about ancestor veneration or any psychic questions that you may have, please do not hesitate to ask. You can type it down in the little box down below, and I will be more than happy to answer your question. In the meantime, another thing with ancestor veneration is a lot of people ask me what's the deal with the glass of water. So if you can see, all of my altars have a glass of water on them. Okay, glass of water is very important in spirit work, because the glass of water, what the glass of water does is it provides clarity, or provides a window, so to speak, for us to communicate with the other side. Now, the water is, well, a lot of scholars and a lot of folks say that, well, a lot of scholars, a lot of metaphysical folks say that water is a portal. Okay, water is definitely a portal, and it allows for us to uh, raise our spiritual consciousness and actually use that water as sort of like a beacon for souls to communicate through, because our minds have to be clarified, and that water is a clarification tool. When it gets cloudy, I dump it out, and that is to combat sluggishness, or to combat any negative energies that happen to try to come in, because what the water does is an indicator to tell me if something is not clear, if something that is not coming through clearly. The water will get cloudy, like a gray, murky color, and you just pour it out. Some folks add a little bit of Florida water, which Florida water kind of looks like this. Also, it can be made. This is it is Murray and Lamon's Florida water cologne. That can be used to cleanse out your water goblets. Another thing that is good for cleansing out water goblets is holy water, or a mixture of blessed water or moon water, a type of cleansing water. Now, another thing that the water serves as for a gift of spirit, or for an offering to spirit, because what the offering to spirit does is it provides them a energy source to go by. Water is also a conductor, and it allows for spirit communication to be easier, because of that those conducive qualities. Another thing that the water provides for them, or provides for spirit, is coolness, because they always say that spirits are always thirsty, and I don't know exactly why they say spirits are always thirsty, but that's what you'll find many elder folks say that dealt with Southern Conjure, or Southern root work, or even Southern magical traditions, or even Caribbean traditions. So it's really water really is a conductive type source for them to really communicate with us through. Another thing is that water does is water allows for us to know if they received or if they have a need for offerings, or if they have a need for um, certain requests or anything in that particular manner. Now you see this goblet of water, and this is my see, if you see right around the bubble, or right around the top of the glass, you see that it's a little bit murky. So that murkiness right there is telling me that it needs to be cleansed. So this would get dumped, and the new glass of water will go out. Now, say for instance, if you see bubbles at the top of the glass, means that they need an offering. Bubbles at the bottom of the glass means that our offering was accepted, okay, or my offering was accepted. Now, bubbles in the middle of the glass means that there are things that needs to be done, okay, meaning you need to do divination to find out what that is, okay. Now, top means that there is basic, like say for instance, that little ring right around there. If you can see it, I know it's kind of hard to see on cam, but is there? It's murky, so it needs to be changed once again. Okay. So, but you'll always see at least one on one of my altars. Now, when I have several spirits on an altar, or say for instance on my ancestor altar, I either place one glass of water, or 3 glasses of water, 7 glasses of water, or 9 glasses of water. Now, now, for instance, 3 glasses. 3 glasses usually are for the center glass for source, the left glass for my ancestors, and my right glass, or the right glass for my guides, or my spirit guides. Then it gets more complicated as more glasses are added. So this is the typical Boveda, or the typical medium's altar, basically, or ancestor altar. So I do have a couple questions that are coming in, so I am going to ask them or answer those questions, and then I am going to get back to speaking about the number of cups on the Boveda, which is also the ancestor altar. So, question number 1 by Sarah and Graphia, which are, do my guides have any messages for me? Okay, Sarah, so let's see. Okay. Okay, Sarah, so the first thing that they bring me to, the first thing that they bring me to is they're working with something in regards to your psychic awareness, and I'm not exactly sure if this is the psychic awareness that around, say for instance, the hearing, but they're showing me an ear, and then they're showing what would look like an ancestral spirit, which this means that you are currently either going to be working with your clairaudience ability, or you are in need of working with your clairaudience ability. One chakra that corresponds with clairaudience is the throat. So what I would do to help with clairaudience is I would do some throat chakra exercises, such as possibly opening them up, such as with a blue crystal. You can use kyanite, you can use sodalite, you can use also even you can also use blue calcite, even shoot. You can even use some blue quartz. Blue quartz is a very wonderful quartz to use, especially when opening up chakras, because what it does is it intensifies the color that it is. So, say for instance, if you were using blue quartz, what the blue quartz would do. Now, understand that blue quartz is a man-made crystal. So, well, the Siberian blue quartz is. All right, I don't know about the other blue quartz, but I know that Siberian blue quartz is, and it is man-made. So what you would need to do is you would need to actually place the smooth stone of Siberian blue quartz near the throat chakra, and what it will do is it will intensify the energy within the chakra, which the chakra would then begin to spin to open. Now it will spin in a clockwise position and then start spinning in a counterclockwise position before it begins to go clockwise, um, before it goes clockwise permanently. Because what the chakras do when they are first getting activated is they'll spin clockwise first, and then they'll stop, and then they'll spin counterclockwise to cleanse out any residue that the clockwise motion pulls up. Because when a dormant chakra begins to pop up, we are actually stirring up energy. So what it has to do because it has kind of like a safe mechanism on it. Our bodies are safe mechanism. They're they are mechanically able to protect ourselves, or we are mechanically able to protect ourselves by allowing for our spirits to find out little hints of what is to be done, so that we are not picking up extra stuff that we have to extra work our tail off. All right, so say for instance, when a chakra begins to open, it will always open clockwise first, stop, and then go counterclockwise, and before going clockwise permanently. All right, because it's blowing off, or it's removing unnecessary energy. Okay, so you want to work with the throat chakra, work with it with a third or a throat chakra crystal, or you can also work with it with some humming, or working with an om sound, anything that is going to be sound related, or that is going to be vibrating the vocal cords, because the vocal cords have a very specific job to do with you, especially around the vibration, because the vibration is very important for your psychic awareness and your psychic hearing to become activated. And I don't know exactly why you're going to be needing to do this, but it seems like one of your ancestors is about to make themselves known for you to begin to start working with them. So this is something that you'll want to do or want to start working on in the near future. Okay, so I hope that worked, or I hope that helped you, Sarah. And if I can help you with a more in-depth reading, please go to www.amagicaljourney.com. Do know that I have a 35% off code that becomes active on November 1st. And you can check that out at www.magicaljourney.com and place in the discount at the purchase section in the discount code area, Magickal 35, and that is spelled Magickal 35, and that is for 35% off your total. Okay, and now we have a second question before I get into the different numbers of cups. Now, question number 2, how do you know if a crystal needs to be cleansed? Okay, so, so Linnell, now, how do we know to cleanse a crystal? So there are many different ways to find out whether a crystal needs to be cleansed or not. Okay, so one, you can use divination. Okay, divination would be cards, chamalangos, a pendulum, muscle testing, any sort of divination that works for you. Another thing is that you can intuit by holding it in your hand. Sometimes a stone will feel heavy. Sometimes a stone will feel like it is just not clarified. Sometimes a stone will feel dirty, like to the touch. So, some stones will feel sticky. There are many times when the stone will feel sticky. I encounter this a lot with my stones, such as like quartz crystals. Quartz crystals such as this one right here. This quartz crystal right here is one that I work with, especially in working with intentions and intensifying intentions. This crystal right here will actually get sticky, and it will almost feel like something sweet has been poured on it, and you'll be able to actually feel it and feel the need to cleanse the crystal. And then there are specific ways to cleanse it. Now, say for instance, if you had a cluster of crystals like this, like real small, tiny crystals. This right here is I forget what it's called, but it's a very interesting stone. Zeolite. Yes, this is zeolite. But this particular stone does not need to be cleansed, okay, because it cleanses itself. That's just like with selenite. Selenite is another stone that does not need to be cleansed, okay? Selenite is a very powerful stone that is able to cleanse itself. Even selenite can cleanse stones by placing them up there, like this. Okay, and see with also with selenite, what's so fascinating about selenite is that you can wave them in front of certain chakras, and you can stimulate them open. And also, you can take certain pieces of of, well, in certain pieces of selenite, if it's one that you can come across very quickly, or if you can come across selenite rather quickly, this is something that I would do if you are ever getting ready to paint your room, or paint rooms, or paint anything that needs to be high vibrational. You can chip off a piece of selenite, grind it up in a mortar and pestle, or a pestle, and you can pour it in the paint. And I have done this with quartz crystal and with selenite before, and it works great. I mean, you can actually make rooms very high vibrational. When I actually had a friend that painted her healing room in quartz crystal and selenite, and quartz crystal and selenite dust paint. So that's a little neat pointer that would be interesting for someone to try out, or try out for um, their thing of, you're making a crown with them. Oh, well, thank you, Linnell. I can't wait. That is neat. So yes, that selenite is a wonderful, wonderful crystal and does not need to be cleansed. And thank you to Sarah. I'm glad it makes perfect sense. So, so that is ways of finding out if a crystal needs to be cleansed. All right, but if you have a piece of selenite, just place the crystal on the selenite and it will cleanse itself. Okay, so now back to the goblets of water. Okay, so the goblets of water, you can have 1, 3, you can have 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. Okay, so understand that 9 is the number of completion, and also the number of that is very close with ancestors, or close to the realm of the dead. Okay, 7 is a very holy number. 5 corresponds to the elements. 3 corresponds to the Trinity. Okay, and 1 corresponds to Source. All right, so with 1, Source is a spirit that's greater than yourself. Okay, 2 more cups that equals the 3. 3 cups would be, the first cup would be Source. Second cup on the left would be your ancestors, or your ancestors, and then on your right would be your spirit guides. Excuse me. And then, so then you have, say for instance, you add 2 more cups to it. So that would be 5 in total. So you would place your center cup in the middle, and then the 5 cups, or the 4 cups around that 5, that 5th one in the middle, and those cups would be your angels and saints, your your guardian angel, your saints and spirits, your ancestors, maternal and paternal, and then Source. Okay, so that's with 5 cups. 7 cups, it would be the center cup, Source, saints and spirits, guardian angels, maternal ancestors, paternal ancestors, and then a particular group of spirits, such as like the katanas, which would be the gypsies, or the Congos, which would be um, the uh, the root workers, and or the native spirits that work within the Congo regions, or a healer spirit, healing spirits would be that sixth cup, or usage of that sixth cup. Now, if you're adding 9 cups, so the 9 cups would actually be particular groups of spirits, such as your spirits and saints, your guardian angel, your your maternal, and then your paternal ancestors, and then your katanas, then your root workers, or which would be espiritisttas, or then would be your folk saints, if you have any, such as like maybe um, San Martin, or um, or a group of different spirits that you work with. Okay, and that is when working with as many goblets as 9. All right, and understand that that with the more goblets you have, the more you have to take care of it. Okay, so if you're one of those people that only sticks around your ancestor altar 1 day out of the week, don't have 9, because you need to make sure that you keep those glasses clear, because that would be able to allow for your life to be crystal clean and clear. All right, and remember that if you work with the ancestor altar on a everyday basis, it will help your psychic mediumship, or it will help your help develop as a medium. Um, there is a um, there is a particular spiritual tradition that works specifically with the ancestor altar, and a it's a Spanish tradition, and it's called Sanse. And you would probably find that pretty fascinating. One of the people that currently works with um, that particular tradition is San Luis, um, and I can actually post kind of like a book piece of their blog to kind of get you to understand what Sansa is. It's actually um, a very beautiful tradition, and something that corresponds with the blending of many traditions, or espetismo. So I would encourage everybody to look into that, and just kind of getting a feel for it, and looking and seeing exactly um, what other cultures practice. Um, the You'll find in many cultures and many traditions that that the ancestors are always first, because the ancestors are the foundation of our spirituality, and they are basically what made us. They are basically what has kept us moving forward in this in day-to-day life. So I encourage everyone to honor your ancestors. Make sure that those ancestors get fed on a regular basis. Make sure that water gets changed. Make sure they have flowers. Make sure that you have a safe place for them to congregate in your home. Um, do not put them in the bedroom, because obviously you do not want your ancestors seeing you change in your birthday suit. I know I don't want mine to, and I'm pretty sure you don't want yours to. Okay, so that is something that that I should have went over with you in the beginning. Places to put your ancestor altar. If you have an office, put it in your office. If you have like a normal place that you sit in your house where you do your meditation at, or where you do your work at, put it there. Don't put it in your bedroom. The bedroom is off limits because it is a place of privacy. Okay, so now, do we have any questions? Any questions at all? Any questions that would like to be dropped in the comment section? Now, I am going to speak about my services that I'm offering, and also speak about the specials that I'm running at this particular moment. And then I think I'm going to say goodbye because we are running out of time quite quickly. So, so the services that I have available right now and that are currently being worked with is I have until October 31st at midnight. I have my 30-minute readings are $50, my 45-minute readings are $75, and my hour readings are $100. That is until tomorrow at midnight. So if you are interested in that dollar amount, please PM me or please email me or even call my office, and I will set you up with a link where you can pay that price. Starting on November 1st, I am having a 35% off sale on all services underneath the service tab, as including specialty readings and whatnot. So that is working with that are working with a 35% discount, and you can have them at Magickal 35. That is Magickal 35. And we do have one question that come through, and it is Sarah and Graphia wanting to know if spirit guides and ancestors are the same. Good question. So there's controversy with this question from many different people, and in my belief, spirit guides and ancestors are not the same. Okay, but there are ancestral spirits, and then there are spirits that guide us that are not of blood or not of a traditional or a tradition ancestry. Okay, because the ancestors do not just necessarily have to be blood. Ancestors can be tradition ancestors as well. Like, say, for instance, with traditional witchcraft, they can be the ancestors of witchcraft, or the ancestors of Sans, or the ancestors of Palo, or the ancestors of voodoo. It goes hand in hand with the many different traditions that there are. Okay, and we have another question by Lisa Gray. I feel like my bedroom is packed with beings all the time. I do not spend a lot of time in my room when home, and do I need to just make it clear my bedroom is off limits? You can try that, but I will tell you that if you are sensitive, you're going to you're probably going to have to build them, say for instance, a altar, and request them to only only work at that altar. And Lisa, if you are wanting help with that, I would encourage you to give me a call, and I can definitely help you in getting them to work with you specifically at an altar instead of at any time. Okay. So, Lisa, if you are wanting to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me at 586-659-9620. You can also shoot me an email at angelicguidance13@gmail.com, or you can also shoot me a Facebook message at Bryan Rawls-Dolzer. Okay, so I will also be having a, Samhain blessing and an apple blessing on October 31st, which is tomorrow, where I will slice a apple horizontally, and on a laurel leaf, there you will have your name and your petition written on the laurel leaf with it closed together and tied with a red string. And that petition that you give me for that apple will be worked again on Thursday, or actually on Friday, on the Day of the Dead. I'm actually having two ceremonies, one Samhain ceremony, one Day of the Dead ceremony. So if you are wanting to uh, get more get more bang for your buck, this is the service that you would like to enter. And you can check that out at my blog at www.bryanrawls.com. That is BRYANRAWLS.com. And those are the particular services that I'm working with during this time. I also have a class that will be starting up not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. The days of, or the weekends of, let's see, it's going to be the weekends of, let's see, hold on one second. It's going to be the weekends of the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd. So if you are interested in joining this class, it's called the Pineal class. There is also an oil that will go with this class. If you are interested, it's $75 for a total of 6 hours of class time on 3 consecutive Saturdays. That is Saturday the 9th, Saturday the 16th, and Saturday the 23rd. So if you are interested, please check that out. And it is going to be a very interesting class. It is working with your pineal gland, and there is a specific oil that is going to be sent out by the second class, and it is a pineal oil, which will help with the activation of your pineal gland. So if you are interested, please contact me, and I will give you information on how to participate in that. And I am capping my student list at 33, and I think I only have like 7 to 10 more people able to join. So if you're wanting to join, I only have 10 people or 10 spots available. So you need to sign up while you can. So I know it is about time to say goodbye. So I would like for everyone that I spoke with this evening, and everyone that participated and listened, thank you so very much for listening to the Magical Journey Show on Ancestor Veneration, continued from last week. We will catch you same time, same place, the 6th of November. And thank you so much. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. If you are interested in a reading, please get a hold of me at 586-659-9620. 9620. You can also go to my website at www.amagicaljourney.com. You can also find me on Facebook at Bryan Rawls-Dolzer, or you can also email me at angelicguidance13@gmail.com. Thank you so very much. Let angel wings guide your dreams. Blessed be, and namaste. Bye now.